Have you ever seen a woman walk into a room and instantly have all eyes on her? It's not just about her looks. It's not about the way she's dressed. It's something deeper, something unspoken, yet magnetic. And let me tell you this, you don't have to be the most beautiful woman in the world to make a man completely obsessed with you. You just need to understand how his mind works. Men are wired in ways they don't even realize themselves. There are hidden psychological triggers that, when activated, make you completely unforgettable in his eyes. This is what separates the women men like from the women they can't stop thinking about. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is this some kind of manipulation? No, this is about understanding attraction on a deeper level. It's about creating a connection so intense that he doesn't just want you, he needs you. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 psychological hidden tricks that will make him crave your presence. Think about you constantly and feel an undeniable urge to chase you. These are the kinds of secrets most women never learn. But once you do, everything changes. Imagine being the woman who lingers in his mind when he's alone at night, the one he compulsively checks his phone for, the one he dreams about, the one who makes him feel like no one else can. Are you ready to unlock the power of psychological attraction? Because once you learn these secrets, you'll never have to chase a man again. He'll be the one chasing you. Let's dive into the first one, and trust me, this one alone will shift everything in your favor. 1. The power of unpredictability. Have you ever noticed that the things we can't quite figure out are the ones that keep us hooked the longest? Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly obsessed with something? Maybe it was a book with a plot twist you didn't see coming. Maybe it was a show that left you hanging at the end of every episode, making you desperate for more. Or maybe it was someone, a person whose thoughts and actions were never entirely predictable. Someone who kept you intrigued and wanting to know them even deeper. That is exactly how men's minds work when it comes to attraction. Predictability kills desire. The moment he feels like he has figured you out, the mystery vanishes, and with it, his excitement for you. If he knows exactly when you'll text, how you'll respond, what you'll say, and how available you'll be, his brain stops craving you. It stops searching for you. The chase dies, and when the chase dies, so does his obsession. Men by nature are hunters. They thrive on challenge. When something feels too easy or too predictable, their brain registers it as unexciting. That's why the most desirable women, the ones men can't get enough of, have mastered the art of unpredictability. They are never fully attainable. They never let a man feel like he has completely won them. There's always a part of them that keeps him wondering, always an element of surprise that keeps his brain engaged. Because here's the truth. When a man is uncertain about where he stands with you, his brain does something fascinating. It starts to obsess. He starts thinking about you constantly, analyzing every interaction, wondering what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what he needs to do to keep your attention. And that is where the addiction begins. The trick to making a man obsessed with you isn't about playing games. It's about keeping the dynamic fresh, exciting, and emotionally engaging. It's about making him feel like he's on an exhilarating emotional roller coaster rather than a predictable, steady road. So how do you do this? First, stop being so available. I know this goes against what many women believe, Society tells us that if we really like a guy, we should show him. We should be there for him. We should make sure he knows how much we care. But the problem with this mindset is that it removes the element of scarcity. When something is always there, it's taken for granted. Think about your favorite dessert. If you could have it any time, anywhere, whenever you wanted, would it still feel as exciting? No. But if it was only available once in a while, suddenly it becomes something you crave. That's how attraction works. If he knows you'll always respond immediately, always be available, and always say yes to plans, he won't feel the urge to chase you. Instead, let him feel your absence. Make him wonder what you're doing. Delay your response sometimes. Be busy with your own life. This doesn't mean you should ignore him or play hard to get. It means you should genuinely cultivate a life that doesn't revolve around him. Because when he realizes that he has to work for your attention, that's when he starts craving it. Second, keep him guessing. If every interaction feels predictable, his brain will lose interest. Men become obsessed when they don't quite know what's coming next. So switch things up. One day, be warm and affectionate. The next, be a little distant. Some days, respond quickly to his messages. Other days, take your time. Share a deep conversation one night, and the next time, keep things light and playful. The key is to create emotional variety. When he never knows exactly what to expect, his mind stays engaged. He starts thinking about you more. He starts craving your next move. That's why relationships that are too stable, too routine, and too predictable often lose their spark. There's no emotional fluctuation, no excitement. But when a woman knows how to add a touch of unpredictability, when she knows how to balance warmth with mystery, she becomes unforgettable. Third, don't be afraid to pull away. This is where most women panic. They fear that if they step back, he'll lose interest. But in reality, the opposite happens. When a man feels like he might lose you, his attraction for you skyrockets. Think about how our minds work. When we believe something is secure, we don't think about it much. But the moment there's a chance we might lose it, it suddenly consumes our thoughts. That's why people become obsessed with things they can't have. When a man feels like your attention is not guaranteed, he starts valuing it more. If you notice him taking you for granted, don't complain, don't argue, just pull back. Give him space to feel your absence. Let him sit in the discomfort of missing you. Let him wonder what you're doing. Because the moment he realizes he might not have you as easily as he thought, that's when he starts working for you. Men don't fall in love with women who are always available, predictable, and easy to figure out. They fall in love with women who challenge them emotionally, who keep them engaged, who make them feel like they have to earn their place in their lives. The moment he thinks he fully has you, the moment he feels like he no longer has to try, that's when his mind starts drifting. That's why relationships that start off passionate and intense can quickly fade into boredom if a woman forgets this key rule. Attraction is maintained through emotional tension, and tension is created when a man feels a mix of excitement, uncertainty, and longing. So if you want a man to be obsessed with you, if you want him to think about you constantly, if you want him to crave you on a level he doesn't even understand, introduce unpredictability. Don't be too available, keep him guessing, and don't be afraid to pull away when needed. Let him feel your presence and your absence. Let him work for your attention. Let him wonder about you. Because the moment you become his puzzle, the moment you become the one thing he can't quite figure out, That's the moment his mind will never let you go. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Unpredictability is just the beginning. If you really want to make a man need you, there's another level of psychological attraction you must tap into. Something deeper, something that anchors his emotions to you in a way that makes him feel like no one else in the world can replace you. And that's exactly what we're about to explore next. 2. Create emotional anchors. Have you ever wondered why some people stay in our minds long after they're gone? Why certain moments replay in our heads over and over, making us feel something so deeply that it almost becomes addictive? This is the secret to making a man obsessed with you, not just interested, but truly hooked on the emotions he associates with you. Attraction isn't just about looks, chemistry, or even compatibility. It's about emotional experiences. A man becomes addicted to a woman when she creates emotional anchors, moments so powerful that his brain starts linking her presence to intense feelings he can't get anywhere else. When you become the source of his most heightened emotions, he won't just like you, he'll crave you. Men are emotional creatures, even if they don't always show it. While they may not express emotions the same way women do, they feel just as deeply. The key to making him obsessed is to embed yourself in his emotional world in a way that's unforgettable. And the best way to do this? Create moments of extreme emotional highs. The human brain doesn't remember everything equally. It filters out the ordinary and holds on to the extraordinary. That's why the relationships that affect us the most are the ones where we felt the strongest emotions, whether it was passion, excitement, deep connection, or even the pain of longing. If you can be the woman who brings out his most powerful emotions, his brain will start associating you with intensity, thrill, and deep connection. That's when he becomes emotionally addicted to you. The first way to create emotional anchors is through excitement and adrenaline. Science has proven that when people experience high adrenaline activities together, they form a stronger bond. Why? Because their brains associate that rush of excitement with the person they're with. That's why first dates that involve thrills, like roller coasters, adventurous activities, or even something as simple as spontaneity, lead to stronger attraction than just a casual dinner. If you want to make him obsessed with you, create experiences that get his heart racing. It doesn't have to be extreme. It just needs to be something out of the ordinary. Surprise him with an unplanned road trip. Take him somewhere new and unexpected. Do something neither of you has done before. The key is to make him associate you with feelings of exhilaration and adventure. Because once his brain connects you with excitement, he won't just want you. He'll need you. Another way to build emotional anchors is through deep emotional connection. People don't become obsessed with surface-level relationships. They become obsessed with those who see them in ways no one else does. The truth is, most men crave emotional connection, but rarely get it. They live in a world where they're expected to be strong, logical, and unemotional, which means they rarely get the chance to open up. But when a woman comes into his life who understands him on a deeper level, who sees his dreams, fears, and vulnerabilities without judgment, she becomes irreplaceable. So if you want to make him emotionally hooked, become the woman who makes him feel safe enough to be himself. Ask him deep questions, ones that go beyond small talk. Get into his mind, his past, his desires, Make him feel seen in a way no one else ever has. The more he opens up to you, the more his brain will associate you with emotional safety and connection. Once that happens, he won't be able to imagine life without you. But here's where it gets even more powerful: the element of nostalgia. Have you ever noticed how certain songs, places, or even scents can transport you back to a memory instantly? That's because our brains are wired to attach emotions to sensory experiences. If you want a man to constantly think about you, create triggers that will remind him of you even when you're not around. Maybe it's a certain perfume you always wear, one that every time he smells it, he thinks of you. Maybe it's a song you two share that instantly brings back the way he felt in your presence. Maybe it's an inside joke, a secret handshake, or even a specific way you say his name. These small things may seem insignificant, but they are powerful psychological tools that keep you embedded in his mind long after you're gone. These triggers will bring you back to him, making him miss you, want you, and feel like he needs you back in his life. And then there's the push and pull effect. This is one of the most powerful emotional anchors you can create, and it's what makes a man feel like he's on an emotional roller coaster with you. Here's the truth: constant emotional stability does not create obsession. Emotional fluctuations do. That's why people get addicted to dramatic love stories, roller coaster relationships, and those experiences where they feel highs and lows. You don't need to create toxic drama, but you do need to introduce a balance of giving and withdrawing. When you shower him with attention, affection, and deep emotional connection, he feels high on love. But if you always give it to him freely, he won't appreciate it. That's why you need to occasionally pull back, not as a game, but as a way to make him realize your value. The moment he feels like he's at risk of losing that emotional connection with you, his mind will panic. He'll start craving you more, needing to know where he stands with you, and working harder to get that emotional high. Now let me ask you this: have you ever had someone in your life who made you feel so deeply, so intensely, that you couldn't stop thinking about them? That's what emotional anchors do. They make a person unforgettable. And if you want a man to be obsessed with you, to wake up thinking about you and go to bed dreaming about you, this is how you do it. Create memories that burn into his brain, experiences that flood him with emotion, and triggers that bring you back to him, even when you're not there. Now, if you've been enjoying these secrets so far, do me a favor. Like this video and comment number 1 if this is resonating with you. I want to know that you're here, that you're soaking this in, and that you're ready to use these secrets in your own life. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, because the next psychological trick is the one that truly cements your place in his mind forever. The one that makes him feel like he can't breathe without you. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Stay with me because it's about to get even deeper. 3. The loss and reward cycle. Have you ever noticed that people crave what they can't fully have? That the moment something feels like it's slipping away, we suddenly want it even more. This is the core of what I call the loss and reward cycle. One of the most powerful psychological triggers that make a man obsessed with you. Because here's the truth: what comes too easily is rarely valued. If a man feels like he has you no matter what, if he believes that no matter how much effort he puts in, you'll always be there, He won't feel the urgency to chase you, to fight for you, or to keep you. But the moment he senses that he could lose you, that's when his instincts kick in. That's when his brain starts working overtime, pushing him to do whatever it takes to secure you. Men by nature are wired to pursue what feels scarce. It's part of their evolutionary psychology. Think about it. In history, the most valuable things, gold, diamonds, status, power, have always been rare, difficult to obtain, and even harder to keep. When something is scarce, its value increases. The same applies to attraction and relationships. If a man believes he has won you completely, and that you're emotionally locked in no matter what he does, he starts to take your presence for granted. But if he feels there's a risk of losing you, that's when he shifts into fight mode. That's when he starts chasing again, trying harder and investing more, because now your presence in his life is something he can't be sure of. The way to trigger this in a man is by creating contrast, the feeling of having you and then experiencing the fear of losing you. This doesn't mean playing toxic games or deliberately hurting him. It means understanding how to balance reward and withdrawal so that he constantly feels a push-pull dynamic that keeps his emotions engaged. When he feels completely secure, gently pull away. Let him feel your absence. Let him wonder what you're up to. Let him feel a slight void where your energy used to be. And then when he starts chasing again, reward him with warmth, affection, and attention. This cycle keeps a man emotionally invested in you. Here's how you do it. First, give him a taste of deep emotional connection. Make him feel like he's the only man in the world when you're together. Be fully present. Laugh with him. Touch him in ways that make his heart race. Share deep moments that make him feel like he's never connected with anyone like this before. Let him experience you in your full, radiant, feminine energy. Let him feel on top of the world. But, and this is crucial, don't make this state permanent. At some point, pull back just slightly. Be a little less available. Let there be a slight shift in energy. Maybe you don't reply as fast as usual. Or maybe you're suddenly busy with something exciting in your own life. Maybe you don't say yes to seeing him the moment he asks. What happens? His brain notices the change. He feels the emotional contrast, and that contrast creates a feeling of loss, which immediately makes him realize how much he values you. The moment he starts feeling that slight drop in attention, his instincts will push him to act. He'll start reaching out more, trying to reclaim that deep emotional connection you gave him. He'll put in more effort, and he'll feel a sense of urgency to win back your full attention. And that's where you bring back the reward. You meet his effort with warmth, affection, and love. You let him experience the high again, but never in a way that feels too predictable. Keep this cycle subtle but present. When done correctly, it makes a man emotionally addicted to you because his brain associates you with both pleasure and longing, which creates an emotional hook he can't escape from. Think about it like this. Imagine you have two sources of water. One is a constant, steady stream. It never changes, never stops, and is always available. The other is a well that sometimes overflows with fresh, crystal clear water, and other times is low, making you wait for the next rush. Which one do you appreciate more? Which one do you anticipate? Which one do you crave? The second one, right? Because it's not always there, and that makes it more valuable. That's exactly how a man's emotions work. When your presence, your attention, and your love are steady and too easy to obtain. He may appreciate it, but he won't feel the drive to chase it. But when it comes in waves, when it's sometimes there and sometimes slightly withdrawn, his brain stays engaged with you, constantly anticipating the next high. And let me be clear, this isn't about playing manipulative games. This is about maintaining attraction over the long term. So many relationships lose their passion because the chase dies. The woman gives too much, too easily, too consistently, without ever allowing the man to feel the thrill of winning her. But the women who keep men obsessed, the women who never have to worry about a man losing interest, are the ones who understand that a man should never feel like he has fully won you. He should always feel like he has to keep winning you. Now here's where it gets even more powerful. Time and space create longing. Have you ever noticed that when you're apart from someone, you often think about them more? That the distance actually makes your feelings stronger? This is why sometimes taking a little step back and giving a man the space to miss you is one of the most powerful things you can do. If he's used to constant communication, take a step back for a day. If he's used to seeing you all the time, skip a hangout and let him sit in that space of longing. The moment he feels the emptiness of your absence, his mind will flood with memories of you. He'll replay moments with you. He'll crave you. He'll feel that loss. And then when you come back into his world, that emotional reward will feel 10 times stronger. This is why the loss and reward cycle is so incredibly powerful. It taps into the deepest layers of a man's instincts, making him feel like you are something he has to work for. The more effort he puts in, the more emotionally invested he becomes. This is how you make a man obsessed with you. Not just for a moment, not just for a few months, but for the long run. If you've been loving these secrets so far, I want to hear from you. Like this video and comment number 1 if you're ready to use these psychological tricks in your own life. I want to know who's truly paying attention, who's ready to step into their power, and who's ready to become the kind of woman a man can't stop thinking about. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, because in the next part, I'll be diving even deeper into the final secret that seals the deal. The one that makes him feel like he's never met anyone like you. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Stay with me, because what's coming next will change everything. When it comes to making a man obsessed with you, the secret isn't about looks, luck, or playing games. It's about understanding the deep psychology of attraction. We've uncovered 3 hidden psychological tricks: the power of unpredictability, the magic of emotional anchors, and the irresistible pull of the loss and reward cycle. Each of these taps into a man's subconscious, making him crave your presence in ways he can't even explain. When you master the art of being unpredictable, you become an exciting mystery that his mind can't let go of. When you create emotional anchors, you attach yourself to his most powerful feelings, making him associate you with intensity, passion, and deep connection. And when you introduce the loss and reward cycle, you make sure he never takes you for granted, keeping his emotions locked onto you with an almost addictive intensity. This is what separates the women men simply like from the women they can't stop thinking about. This is what makes a man wake up in the morning with your name on his mind, check his phone, hoping to see your message, and feel a deep need to be around you because life feels empty without you. And the best part, this isn't about manipulation. It's about stepping into your true power as a woman. It's about knowing your worth and creating a dynamic where a man has to rise to your level rather than you lowering yourself to chase him. The women who effortlessly attract men aren't the ones who try the hardest or give the most. They're the ones who know how to spark emotion, how to create excitement, and how to keep a man coming back for more. So now the question is, are you ready to be that woman? Are you ready to apply these secrets and watch as men start to feel drawn to you in ways they can't even understand? If you've enjoyed this video and feel like these strategies have opened your eyes, like this video and comment number 1 if you're excited to use these psychological tricks in your own life. I want to see who's really paying attention, who's truly stepping into their power. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on more secrets that will completely transform the way you approach attraction, relationships, and your own feminine energy. Because trust me, this is only the beginning. The moment you start applying these techniques, you'll see a shift. You'll notice how men start pursuing you harder, valuing you more, and feeling a deep, unshakable desire for you. And once you experience that, you'll never settle for anything less again. So stay tuned, because what's coming next will take you even deeper into the world of irresistible attraction.